Hi all, it's Sonia from Sonia's Mixed Media, and I haven't made a video like this for some time, but I've been inspired by Dede Willingham amongst a few others. It's Nana's Place and also Leatherandjade. I'll try to remember to put their YouTube usernames down below, and so you can look up their videos as well. But we've all jumped on the bandwagon, or as I said to Dede, she's made an army of abandoned places artists who are all altering this book in collage and paint. And I bought this book, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was definitely last year. But I just didn't have the guts to start working in it until I went and looked up Leatherandjade's videos. She's someone I follow. I love her art journals that she does. And she has started Dede's project of doing abandoned places and doing the whole collage and paint thing. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, right, I've got to bite the bullet and I've got to start this. So went back to Dede's videos and off I went and looked up a million of her videos. See, she doesn't just have abandoned places. She's got abandoned theme parks, abandoned castles. She's got quite a few of these books on the go, which is all collaging. And she also has some journals that she's done several years ago where she just started from point blank and just put in all her own images on blank paper, which is also really good. And I've also started one of those journals as well. But I thought I should probably just be concentrating on this one to start with, because this book is fat. I haven't actually checked how many pages it is. I suppose I should. It's like, oh, does it say okay, over 220 pages in this book. So this is a huge project and it's probably going to take me all year to finish. But I have been actually trying to do 1 or 2 pages a day, and I started probably just over a week ago now. Or maybe a week and a half ago, but I did play in my other journal a little bit. So I will get to it and show you the pages I have done. So like I said, this is for Leatherandjade and it's Nana's Place, because I promised them both that I would show the pages that I've done, and also Dede, if she pops around, would be excellent. She followed me on Instagram the other day, which was really good. So it's like having the Queen follow you. So, okay, we'll get to some pages that I've done. Okay, so the first page that I have got finished is this one. Now, if you can't recognize it, it's the page after this one. And I believe there was all buildings with these empty windows along here. The only thing I kept was actually the pathway. The pathway went like this. That's the only bit I kept. I kind of added everything else in. This here was a window, a square window, and then later on I just turned it into the arch. So this is probably up with one of my very favourites that I've done so far. I only did this one 2 days ago, so I feel like I'm kind of getting the hang of it now and getting the groove. I'll show you my first page I did, and I really don't like it, and knowing me, probably in a few months' time I'll probably go over the whole thing again, but you can really tell the difference of me trying to get the hang of things. So none of these pages are done in order. I flip from the front to the back to the middle like Dede suggests to keep my spine intact. So some of the pages I have if I can just find one. I've just tacked down, like Dede does, some images that I want on those pages. So this is going to be like, this ship is going to be all underwater, I'm thinking, or it may still be a space in outer space, I'm not quite sure. This one here, I've closed it a bit too early, as you can see. I'm going to have to go over that. But I've just blacked out this page and made this into kind of like a moon type thing. So this isn't finished. I've added some collage there. I've got some loose pieces in here which I'm kind of thinking about putting in here somewhere. Not quite sure. But I thought this girl looks really cool, like something's chasing her, but I just haven't figured out what yet. So I'll get to some more pages that I've done. So, okay, another underwater scene here. This whole thing I'm thinking about putting underwater. Added a few bits on this one. And added some on there. Added this here. I've just tacked it down because I'm thinking of putting that there, but not quite sure. I like how the colours kind of really blend in. Okay, so I've added some on here. So this is what you do. If you haven't seen anyone do this before, I suggest you look up those people that I suggested and have a look at some of their finished pages as well. But you just go in and you put your collage images where you want them on each page, and then you go back in with your acrylic paints and you paint them into the scene so that everything blends and look like they should be there, basically. So, and you create these worlds like, I don't know if you call it a land or like a planet, or sort of, all mine are going to be like Dede's kind of outer space type worlds. So this one's kind of ready to go. Got all my images there. Just waiting to paint that in. I've got a lot that I've been working with collage on. I'll just try to find, okay, so here we go. This is one I put on Instagram that Dede liked, so I was pretty chuffed about that, and I'm really happy with this. This is the last one that I've done, so I think I've finally got the hang of what to do with blending things in, like making the waves come up over this rock that I put here. Put planets in there. I blended the water into the rooster who's floating who's floating in the ocean. I blended the waterfall coming down, added more paint to it. These here were two, I don't know if they were flowers. They looked like, yeah, I guess they were flowers, but they also looked like they were made out of paper, so it was kind of weird. I'm not sure what they were, but I found two the same. So I popped them up top and then made it so that their red little arms were coming down over the building. This was all one piece, so that got blended in really nicely with the black sky. This was just a section here of a bit of outer space material. Added a window here and a here, like with another world in there. And of course the timepiece, which I liked adding weird numbers to. 13, 24 and 52 is the clock they work on. So, but really quite happy with how this one turned out. I thought I blended it quite well. And then to an early one. This is one of my first ones, which I'm not too keen on. This one here, this was a building that was already here and it went all the way up here. This item was already here, and I thought it looked a bit like a spaceship, but I added this round machinery part and I added this propeller at the back. Try to make it look like a spaceship. Yeah, painted all of this out, added this here with the beams coming down. I kept the little people that were on this stairwell. You can just kind of see them in there. And then I added this sort of, if you can see that, kind of bit of submarine-y propeller thing that I've added down there. But yeah, I've tried to make this into like watery, I don't know what it was supposed to be. At first it was supposed to be like a planet in front, but then it was supposed to be water, and I'm not sure what happened. But it's probably not one of my favorites because I feel like I blocked too much out, and I wish I had actually kept some more. So there is quite a balance on how much do you black out from the original picture. Like, say this one, how much do you black out and how much do you keep? Because if you black out too much, you know, you might as have well started from scratch and you're defeating the purpose of doing it in this book. It's a balance between keeping a lot of the image that's there and working with it and blocking out. So I'm finding that a constant struggle. And another thing is how much collage you use. This one I feel like I didn't use enough of my own images. Like I've added the flower which became a planet up here, this bit of machinery, so 1, 2, 3, and just this down here, so 4 pieces, which now when I collage I probably like to add at least 5 to 6 pieces. So that's something I learned as well, is to don't underestimate how much collage you need on a page, because otherwise you just don't get the effect. So what I got here, started adding some pieces onto here. And if you're going to do this and you haven't seen any of the other people's altered books, you have to use golden matte medium as your glue. And then you also put it on top of your images as well, because what it does, it makes them matte. And when you go to paint with your acrylic paint and blend in, if you don't use it, you can't lift the paint off if you've accidentally added too much. And I actually did a page the other day and I forgot to matte medium the image, and I'm thinking, why is this paint not coming off very well and just smearing everywhere? And then it clicked and I thought, oh no, I didn't use my matte medium. So if you do use matte medium and you use like a wet wipe, like a baby wipe, to get extra paint off, if you need to, it comes off very, very easily. But if you don't, it just smears everywhere. So that's just a tip that you need to know. Okay, so I've got kind of this tornado that I'm kind of thinking of putting in the sky here to add a little interest. This one was one of the first ones I did. So this one here, I added a lot of collage, but not a lot of paint. But I actually really like the end result. I had a lot of fun with this one. But again, I did add a lot of images to it. So there's the dinosaur skull, so that's 1. The plant up here is 2. These flowers 3, the cactus 4, the clock is 5, fish 6, another flower 7, and a clock is 8. Did I count this? This plant is 9, and this clock down here is 10, and the plant stand 11. So 11 collage images I added to this, and I really love it. It's I think the second page I did, and it's still one of my favorites. I just added a little paint to match this to make it go around the corner and up the wall. Added a few more cactuses coming down, a few more of these red berry plants coming down. Added a few of these in the other windows. Added some mist and planets. And yeah, I really love it. The only thing that is not quite finished is I want to just blend in this grasses here on the edge with a bit of green. But apart from that, I'm really happy with it, and this would be ready for a gloss. So that's 11 collage images compared to the, how many was it? 4? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 on this page. So it really makes a good difference. Whoops. So somewhere in between is good, I think. So you'll find that if you start one of these books that, yeah, you got to find your medium. So this one I'm working on, and I really thought it looked really ghosty, like it's the sort of place you would be haunted. So I want to keep it into like a haunted type house. So I found these images that are all kind of, if you look up close, they're all kind of a bit blurry. Like the man here is blurred. That lady up the top here, she's got, can you see? She's got like 2 faces, like an image behind her face. So I'm trying to keep with the haunted type feel with this one. But got to get in with the paint yet. Let's check if there's any more painted ones, just to show you what I've done. Yeah, this is my next one. I really like this one. This is what I call the Star Wars page, because this was on, like, it was a set for Star Wars or used for Star Wars. And I just really like it. It's more basic, but I've added water down the bottom here. This was just all sand. Sorry about my hands, they've got all paint on them. Painting. Yeah, this was all sand, so I added some collage water, and then I just blended it all in to look like it's all been painted. Painted these red, added some flower here. These were lamp shades that I turned upside down, so light fittings, and I have fire coming out of them. Love the spider that's coming down from space with his little cobwebs shooting out. And then I have my timepiece in there. Added this little doorway to another world. And yeah, I really, really love how it looks and how it came out. The only thing I want to do is go over with my Posca pen the white arms of the clock. I did that in pencil, but I should have done it in my Posca pen, but really happy with that one. So that would be ready for a gloss. This is the one I'm talking about, which I'm just not happy with. It's the first one I did, and I have worked on it since. I've added these 2 pieces here, but I'm just not loving it. I think I covered up too much, and that's what it is. I pretty much ended up covering the whole page, and I didn't keep anything of the original, and that's where I went wrong. This is the page, it's after this one, before that one. It's the page, it was like a car park, an empty car park, and there was all different levels. And I was like, this was a level up here, and I thought, well, I'll just keep that level, but ended up you can't even see it now. So I just covered up way too much. So, and I couldn't blend anything, and the whole thing just annoys me, really. I just don't like this page. But anyway, you're going to get pages that don't turn out the way you wanted, and you just have to live with it. When you've got 200 pages to work with, I'm not, you know, too fussed about it. What else have I done? This one, which I pretty much got my groove on with Dede, and just to get the feel of things, thought I'd go along with what she did. Did a few different things. You know, I added a butterfly here. I continued the railway track on, blended that quite well. Thought that went really well. Added a clock at the end of the tunnel there, painted out the rest of the tunnel. She put a tiger here, I put a lioness. She put flowers here, I put mushrooms. But sort of just got my feel for things with this page, and I really like it, and that one's finished. I think that's about all that I have actually completed, and all the other pages I've just added things to the pages to get me going. But what I thought I'd do is I'm not going to do any paint alongs or collage alongs, because there's already so many people doing them. You know, if you want to watch them, you know, Dede has them, you know, every week or two. She'll be working in this book, and it's Nana's Place does them very regularly. I think Leatherandjade may have one or two that she's done on camera. Can't quite remember, but I rather do them because they take me quite a long time. I'd rather do them at my own pace, at my work desk, which I can't really set my camera up at. So I won't be showing any as I'm going, but what I will do every time I've got, you know, 6, 7, 8 pages done, I will come back and show you them completed. And I hope you enjoy looking at them, and I hope you come back. And this is why I've kept my dust cover on the book, because I'm getting paint all over it. It's getting ruined. And so I've decided that the cover will come off when the book is finished, and then it will be nice and clean. So thank God for dust covers. Okay, so thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed seeing my completed pages. Bye.